Hi, third grade. This is Mrs. Renelay. Today I'm going to teach you about telling time using an analog clock. In third grade, we tell time to the nearest minute. Today I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you some Google Slides to help us with this skill. In second grade, you learned about telling time to the nearest 5 minutes using a clock that looks like this. In third grade, we take it a step further and we look at each minute within the 5-minute chunks. If you need a review of how to tell time to the nearest 5 minutes, check out Flocabulary and click on this video, Telling Time to 5 Minutes. Let's start by reviewing the parts of a clock. On an analog clock, there are arrows that help us tell time. We call these arrows hands. There is an hour hand and a minute hand. On this slide and in this example, the hour hand is shown in red, and it is shorter than the minute hand. On this example, the minute hand is shown in blue, and it points to the minute. This is going to be very important as we learn how to tell time to the nearest minute. Notice that the hour hand is shorter, like the word hour. We spell hour like this, H-O-U-R. Hour is much shorter than the word minute, which is spelled M-I-N-U-T-E. That's one trick to help you remember which is the hour hand, which is the minute hand. I always find that helps third graders every year. Let's continue looking at the parts of a clock. In second grade, you learned about counting by fives when we count around a clock. So when we get to the 1, we know that means 5 minutes. When we get to the 2, we know that means 10 minutes. And we keep going around the clock until we get to the 12, which means a whole hour has passed. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. This year, we're going to look inside the 5-minute chunks. We are going to count by each minute right here. Let me show you. So instead of just counting by fives, we're going to look at each minute. We call these tick marks, these little marks between each big number, and each one of them means 1 minute. So there are 5 spaces from 12 to 1. There are 5 more spaces from 1 to 2. So 5 plus 5 equals 10 minutes. Between each number, there are 5 minutes or 5 tick marks. Let me show you how to tell time to the nearest minute. Here's an example. It says, which digital clock shows what time is on the analog clock? Well, first, I need to identify my hour hand and my minute hand. I know the hour hand is shorter than the minute hand. So let me draw my hour hand. Let me identify that for us. So right here is my hour hand. So first I'm thinking, okay, the hour hand has been ticking around the clock and it is past the 5. So that means it's in the 5 o'clock hour. Now I want to think about the minute hand. My minute hand is longer than my hour hand. So right over here is my minute hand. Let me draw it with red. So I need to think about counting by fives, starting at my 1. I know that this is 5 minutes have passed. 10 minutes has passed. 15 minutes has passed. Because there are 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and 5 minutes here. I notice my minute hand has passed 15, but it's not quite to the 4. If it got to the 4, it would be 20 minutes, but we're not quite there yet. So I need to look past 15 and now start counting on by ones. The 3 mark is 15 minutes. So starting here, I'm going to count by ones. So I count 1 minute to 16, 17, 18. Right here is where my arrow is pointing. So I know that my hour hand has passed 5 o'clock. That means it's in the 5 o'clock hour. And my minute hand has passed all the way to 18 minutes. So if I were to complete this task and I look over here, which one of these matches the time shown on the clock? 5 o'clock hour, so I know it can't be one of these. And 18 minutes. Oh, found it right here. Today on Seesaw, you are going to do an activity very similar to this. You are going to be looking at analog clocks. You're going to be counting by fives till you get to the nearest 5 minutes. And then you're going to be counting on by ones to find the nearest minute, just like we did together. After you complete your assignment, make sure you hit the green check mark to submit your work.